Hi everyone, welcome to Drawing Hub. This is Sanjana, and in this video we'll be discussing about operating systems. Okay, before going to what is operating system, we should know the different types of software. We have application softwares and system softwares. So an application software means uh, these are specific tasks used by the user. Okay, and system software is to support hardware. Okay, and then we'll this is just an introduction of what software is, what different types of software is, because operating system is a system software. Now before going to what operating system is, inside a modern computer we have processors, we have main memory, disks, printers and various input output devices. So all these components have to be managed, and to manage all these components we require a layer of software, and that layer of software is the operating system. Okay, and operating system is a system software, that is, it is used to support the hardware, and it provides basis for application programs and acts as an intermediary between the computer user and the computer hardware. See, here we can see that we have a user. So we have the user, then there is application over here, and this is the operating system. And here we have hardware. So it acts as an intermediary between the user and the hardware. Okay, it acts as an intermediary between user and hardware. Operating system is a system software. Okay, first point, it is a system software that provides a basis for application programs and act as an intermediary. Okay, it acts as an intermediary between the computer user and computer hardware. It controls and coordinates the usage of hardware among various applications and uses. It is also responsible for the execution. Okay, now this operating system have lot of things like processes, resource allocation, CPU management, file management, many other tasks are there, the functions that we'll be discussing in detail. Now examples of this operating system: Linux is an open source, it is an example of operating system. Windows, Android, Mac OS, all these are examples of operating system. Now, some operating systems are designed to be convenient and others to be efficient, and some others to be the combination of two. So, operating systems are designed to be convenient for others, and also it have to be efficient also. So, how actually it works? This is a figure for it. I have n number of users, as you can see in this figure. I have n number of users. I have user 1, I have user 2, user 3 and etc. till n. Now, the users are using application programs. Okay, it can be compiler. The user 1 is using a compiler, user 2 is using an assembler, user 3 is using text editor, user n is using a database system. You can say other examples also you can give, like word processing or some other thing. Okay, so these are things which the users are doing directly. Okay, so this is system and application programs, because user can interact directly. Then comes the operating system, because what did I tell it? Operating system is an intermediary between users and hardware. So in order to connect the application program with the computer hardware, we have the operating system. Okay, this is the figure which you have to memorize. This is a conceptual view of a computer system. This is a computer system structure. Okay, see here, bidirectional arrows. It is bidirectional arrows. Okay. Then what are the goals of operating system? Operating system can be used to control, execute user or application program. Okay, first thing we have studied in the first thing itself, what would we study? It should be convenient to use. The computer system should be convenient to use. Then for user problems, in order to solve the user problems, we should be able to easily solve the user problems. Then use a computer hardware in an efficient manner. These 2 points we have discussed earlier itself. It should be convenient, it should be efficient, then we should be able to solve the problems in an easy manner, and then we can control or we can execute both user and application program. These are the goals. You just have to know about it. Then comes functions of operating system. Okay, before that, advantages of operating system: it provides a graphical user interface and it will help us to understand and utilize computer hardware. Okay, we have gone through this. This is different PPT. Okay, these are the examples with the logos which I have mentioned before. The 4 components of a computer system structure which we have mentioned. Okay, now in this part, this is the detailed thing. Okay, in the computer system structure, I said first, okay, we have the computer hardware over here, right? Okay, computer hardware provides basic computing resources. So computing resources like CPU, memory can be RAM, ROM, then IO devices. So all these are hardware things. Now operating system, the functions. Okay, we are saying operating system will control and coordinate the use of hardware among various applications and uses. Then application programs means it defines the ways in which the system resources are used to solve the computing problems. As I told you before, we have so many application programs other than all those compilers and database systems. So we have word processors, spreadsheets, web browsers, video games. People can use anything, right? So these are the application program and users. This user 1, user 2, user 3 and all. What are they? They can be peoples, they can be machines, or maybe they can also be other computers. Okay, so operating system will be connected to all these, to the applications, to the monitors, to the IO devices. Okay, the screen, the mouse, keyboard, and hard drive. It is connected to everything. I've gone through the goals. Okay, this is a much more detailed thing with the goals, functions, and types of things. Okay, we'll come to that now. Now, what are the functions of operating system? As of now, we have 5 functions to study. We have process management, memory management, storage management, resource management, protection and security. 5 functions of operating system is there. Okay, functions of operating system, we have process management, memory management, storage management, resource management, protection and security. Now, first one we'll see what is process management. Okay, before learning what process management is, what is process? We know process is a program in execution. When a program is undergoing execution, then that is called a process. This is something which you have to memorize always. A process is program in execution. Process means whenever a program is in execution, then we call that as a process. A word, okay, now example if I am giving. A word processing program being run by an individual user on a PC. Compiler is a process. Okay, so I have a word processing program and a user, a human being. Let's take a human being is running it in a PC. Here, it is a program. Word processing is a program. But the process here is compiler, because compiler is the one which is being executed, the program is being executed. So compiler is a process. Okay, so when it is a run, then it is a process. When the program is in execution, then that is a process. Okay, as I told you before, process needs certain resources to accomplish its task. Like we require things like CPU time is needed, memory is needed, files, IO devices, and all those things are needed. So these resources are either given to the process when it is created or allocated to it while it is running. So when when a process is being created, either these resources like the CPU time, memory, then the files, IO device, it will be given to the process. This is my process. It will be given to the process when it is created or when it is in the running state. Okay, now the operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with process management. Okay, for process management, I have 5 activities. Okay, what are the 5 activities? So, scheduling processes and threads. Okay, process management means it is something related to process. Okay, so in all the sentences, all the 5 activities, the word processor will be there. Some tips to memorize during the exam. So, process management means all the 5 activities, process will be there. Process management. Okay, so it is something that will be the process can be managed. Okay, try to understand from the word. Okay, scheduling processes and threads on the CPU. Okay, the processes and threads will be scheduled on the CPU. Then what all things can we do? What all activities we can do? We can schedule. Okay, first thing, we can schedule the processes and threads on the CPU. We can create it. If we can create it, we can delete it also. Creating and deleting both user and system processes. Okay, then we can create it, we can delete it, we can suspend it. Okay, if we can suspend, we can resume also. Suspending and resuming processes. Then providing mechanisms for process synchronization, then communication, all those things it can be used. Synchronization, communication. So scheduling, creating and deleting, suspending and resuming, synchronization, communication. These are the 5 activities in connection with process management. Scheduling processes and threads on the CPU, creating and deleting both user and system processes, suspending and resuming processes, providing mechanisms for process synchronization, providing mechanisms for process communication. So that is about process management. Our first function is over. Then we have memory management. Before that, let us see if we have any other things. Okay, we'll come to that. Now, memory management. The operating system is responsible for the, in memory, memory, we have studied process management. That is managing the processes. Memory management is managing the memory. So again, here also we have activities. Keeping track of which part of memory, here everything, memory, the word memory will be there. Keeping track of which part of memory are currently being used and who is using them. Deciding which processes are or parts of process and data to move into and out of memory. Allocating and deallocating memory space as needed. Okay, again these are our key terms. So who is using? Okay, currently which part of memory is being used and who is using them. So I have to keep track of which part of memory are currently being used. So inside the memory, which part is being used? So here I have taken this part is being used. Okay, fine. This part is being used. Okay, who is using them? Who is using them? Fine, that. Okay, that is one point. Deciding which process or parts of process and data to move into or out of memory. So again there is process. So which process I have to move into the memory or move out of the memory, that we have to find. Deciding which processes or parts of processes and data to move into and out of memory. Third one, allocating and deallocating memory spaces needed. Either I can allocate or maybe I can deallocate. Okay, this is not needed, so I'm deallocating it like that. Allocating or deallocating memory spaces needed. So these are the 3 activities in memory management. Keeping track of which part of memory are currently being used and who is using them. Deciding which processes or parts of processes and data to move into and out of memory. Allocating and deallocating memory spaces needed. A second function is over. Next, the third one is storage management. Okay, again, storage management means something related to storage. Managing the storage related things. Okay, what all activities does this have? Okay, free space management, storage allocation, disk schedule. So all these things you have to study in detail in the late upcoming chapters. Free space management means space management. Okay, storage allocation for allocating the storage. Then disk schedule, we'll study that in detail in the later chapters. Then file system management. Okay, that is the third function also over. Then we have file system management. File system management, computers can store information on several different types of physical media. So physical media means it can be a magnetic disk, optical disk, magnetic tape. Okay, these things are most common type. So we need to store our information somewhere. Computers need to store the information somewhere. So the physical media examples are this magnetic disk, optical disk, magnetic tape and all. Okay, before that, what is a file? File is a collection of related information defined by its creator. So it is a collection of, it is an information, it is a collection of related information that should be defined by its creator. And file represents both source, represents programs. Okay, inside it we have programs. It can be source and object forms and data also. Now we are telling data means, data file means it can be numeric, it can be alphabetic, alphanumeric, binary, anything. Data. The files are normally organized into directories to make them easier to use. Okay, file system management. Computers can store on several different types of physical media, like I have told you the examples. Now file, what is a file? File is a collection of related information. Similar informations are there, then only we can call it as a file. And this is defined by the creator. That is, if I am the user, I am creating a file, then I am defining what all informations are there inside it. Okay, and the file represents program. It can be source and object forms and data. Now data files means it can be numeric, alphabetic, alphanumeric, binary, and all. And files, it is normally organized into directories, so we can use them in an easy manner. Then last one is protection and security. See, if computer system has multiple users and it allows the concurrent execution of multiple processes, then the access to data must be regulated. And also there should be mechanisms that ensure files, memory segments, CPU and other resources can be operated on by only those processes that have gained proper authorization from the operating system. So authorization is very important over here. Now memory addressing hardware ensures that a process can execute only within its own address space. Protection is any mechanism for controlling the access of processors or users to the resources defined by a computer system. Okay, see, computer system will have multiple users and these users will have to do multiple processes concurrently, and the access to data should be regulated. So mechanisms ensure that. So let it be file, let it be memory segments, CPU, other resources. So all these resources can be operated on only by those processes that have gained proper authorization from the operating system. So authorization is required if you want to do something. If you want to operate in these files, memory segment, whatever it is, whatever resources it is, then you should need authorization from the operating system. Functions of operating system we are telling. Okay, now memory addressing hardware. Now if I want to execute a process, then that also will be ensured only if it is in its own address space. It have to be, that process should be in its address space, its own address space, only then we can execute it. Then protection means controlling the access of processors or users to the resources defined by a computer system. So it involves ensuring that all access to system resources. So protection means access to the system resource is controlled. Now security of the system from outsiders is also important. So security means starting of security means requiring each user to authenticate himself or herself to the system. Authentication means usually it is in the form of passwords, so that I can gain access to the system resources. That is about the functions. So what all functions have we said so far? Goals. I have process management, memory management, storage management, resource management, protection and security. We have studied all these in detail. Okay, process management have told, memory management, storage management, file system management or resource management. It can be protection and security. That is all. Okay, now comes interface. Before that, over here, regarding the OS. Okay, in a more simplistic approach, in fact, OS itself is a program and all those things we don't know. Okay, and the OS uses the kernel mode of the microprocessor, and other program uses user mode. There are two modes, kernel mode and user mode. Operating system uses kernel mode. We'll discuss that in detail again. about what those things are. Then we have different types of views and things, system view and all, that will be discussing in the next video. Okay, so system, okay, here the proper definition and things are there which I have told before. We have the organizations and things. Okay, interface and things are there. Okay, so all these things we'll be discussing in the next video. Until then,